These are my top 4 simple, quick, and incredibly effective ways to prepare for a trip in advance so it is as stress-free as possible. Imagine this. You just finished up at a cute Italian cafe, but then when you're ready to pay, your card gets declined. So you head to the nearest ATM, only to be met with the same message: declined. This all too common stressful situation is usually due to your card being flagged by your bank for suspicious activity when you try to use it in a foreign country. You can avoid this situation with tip number 1, which is to call your bank and let them know about your travel plans before you take off on your trip. And while it's unlikely, there is a chance that your cards could still end up frozen even after you inform the bank. To stay ahead of the game, it's a good idea to ask your bank what to do and who to contact if that were to happen. Sometimes they may even let you know that you could independently unlock your account from an app on your phone. I once had the bank agent tell me not to worry and that if I was frozen out of my account on my trip, I simply could go to my local bank branch and then show a piece of ID and they could unfreeze the account for me. Am I the only one that sees an issue with doing that while I am on a trip outside of the country? There's always going to be another option, and it's nice to know what those options are before you leave. And then also before you take off, don't forget to check the expiration dates on your cards. And if you do happen to hold bank accounts with multiple banks, consider bringing multiple cards with you as well in case one bank decides to freeze you out. Let us know down in the comments if you call your bank and notify them of your travel before your trip. I will always do this, but I still end up being frozen out of my accounts on maybe 10% of my trips. It's kind of annoying, but also probably a good thing that the fraud department is doing their job. In addition to knowing that I will have access to my money at all times during my trip, I also like to know that I will have access to the internet from the moment that I arrive in a new country. I do this by installing an Ollie eSim before leaving home since I won't have access to my Canadian phone plan once I am outside of Canada. An eSIM is a hassle-free digital SIM card that you can download onto your phone, and then as soon as you land, you can simply activate the eSIM in your phone settings, and like magic, you'll have unlimited data and even the option for a local phone number if you are in Europe. It's super easy, and Ollie has excellent 24/7 customer support if you do encounter any issues. I've also partnered with Ollie on this video to give you a 5% discount on your next Ollie eSIM purchase by using my code PORTABLEPROFESSIONAL at checkout. Something else that is always worth doing before you travel is taking a moment to look up the local apps that are commonly used in your destination country. You'll want to download any popular apps onto your phone, but then also create an account and load a payment method if one is required to the account in advance so they are ready to be used the moment you arrive. For example, if you wanted to get from the airport to your hotel with a ride-sharing app to avoid anything like taxi scams or being overcharged, Bolt is a popular option in many countries in Europe, and it's often going to be more widely available and cheaper than using Uber. Just do a quick Google search along the lines of popular apps in Italy or France or wherever you are going before your trip so you know what you should be downloading. And another app to download before your trip is not a local app, but it is equally important, would be the Airlines app. Not only does it keep you informed with quick flight updates on things like delays and cancellations, but you can also usually access free content while in flight to do things like stream new movies and TV shows. Many airlines have also moved to contactless payment, and the only way that you can make any purchase on board is if you have the Airlines app with an account with a preloaded payment method. So that means with many major airlines, if you wanted to buy a headset or a pack of peanuts, you wouldn't be able to do so with cash or credit card or even with the tap function on your phone. You would need to have the app downloaded with a payment method that was loaded before the flight. Ollie would also like to let you know that before you go on any trip, it is important that you have a fantastic pet sitter that has plenty of treats and loves long walks. And offers unlimited cuddles. And this next thing that I'll always do before a trip could make the difference between arriving at the destination feeling absolutely terrible or being well rested and ready to start the vacation. You will want to make sure that you are getting a great seat, which you can do even if you are just choosing a free seat in economy. Here's how. Look up the check-in time for your flight. It's usually 24 hours before the flight's departure, but sometimes it can be as long as 48 hours before the flight departs. So be sure to check, because you will want to know this, and then set an alarm or a calendar notification to check in for the flight as soon as the check-in window opens. Being one of the first passengers to check in means that you are one of the first people to pick that free economy seat. Waiting to check in means that you will end up with whatever seats are left over, and it's usually not the good ones. It's also usually going to be completely free to choose your economy seat at the time of online check-in, as opposed to when you are booking the flight and you need to pay an extra fee if you would like to select a seat. My favorite spot on the plane is going to be an aisle seat in the middle row of seats on the right-hand side of the plane, closer to the back than the front. I'll link to a video down in the description that explains why I think this is the best seat that you could pick in economy, but the video will also give you some tips based on your own preferences to make sure that you're choosing the best seat for you. So safe travels, thank you for watching, and I will see you over in that video soon. Bye.